Hello everybody, it is Chimpso here. We have a bit of a different video today. Today I'm going to be looking at a Singed build that was used by Looper, who is a pro player in the LPL. And just as a couple of days ago, he ran a build in a competitive match, which was basically a full tank Singed build. And I was really interested to try it out because he done very well with it. So I hopped into a game, and these are the runes and masteries I use here, by the way. I hopped into a game and I thought, let's just try it out, see how it goes. I pretty much copied the build to the letter, and it was actually appropriate for this game. So it worked out very well, and I'm very impressed with this build and might actually use it a bit in the future, or even have it replace my current build. So we're going to get into the game in just a moment here. There won't be any loading screen, and sorry, I forgot I wasn't recording until I got in place, but we are only playing Proxy Singed this game. Going Looper's build, the full tank Singe, does not affect your early game proxy whatsoever. You can still play Proxy Singed perfectly normal with it, because as long as you use my new Proxy Singed starting build, which is the Doran's Ring, Health Potion and Ward, you will do just fine. So, one second, the audio levels are a bit weird. Okay, there we go, should be good. So yeah, this Proxy Singed start uses a Doran's Ring, a Potion, and a Ward. You need that Ward early on, so you need to take the Greed Mastery for it. But this build allows you to have enough AP to proxy while still having magic resist per level glyphs, which is excellent because Singe doesn't gain any MR per level. Like I said, your proxy early game isn't affected because you still just build a catalyst first off, because your first time you're gonna get is Righteous Glory, which is the main part of the build. It's the first item that Looper got, and it's definitely a good item on Singed. This build focuses around two specific things. Obviously tankiness, full tank, but also cooldown reduction. This is a more utility focused build. For those of you who don't know, the build that I use for Singed, and a lot of other Proxy Singed players use, is we go either Rod of Ages or Tear into Rylai's, then Leandries, and then we go full tank after that. And of course, we get Ninja Tabi or Merc Shreds depending on the situation. That's basically like an AP off-tank Singe, but because all the mana you get from Roa, you get a lot... Our jungler. Poor Mundo. You get a lot of health from that build. So, it's a good build, but I haven't been doing too well with it recently. I've had a lot of bad games, and I'm like, okay, I'll try out Looper's build, because full tank Singe works. I always knew it worked. But the thing is, I just couldn't imagine how Singe would be without Rylai's. I mean, Rylai's is such a cool item on him. It's so important. It's like a second passive. You slow everyone in a team fight. It's great. But with this build, you don't even need Rylai's, because your fling will be on a 6-second cooldown. Your W will be on a significantly less cooldown. Your ult will be up more often. And you have the slow from both Righteous Glory and Randuin's Omen to help you out in a team fight. So... this build, like I said, focuses on cooldown reduction and health and resistances. It has no AP in it whatsoever. That Doran's Ring is the only AP you'll be getting the entire game. And I was pleasantly surprised with how it went. So, up against a top lane Sion here, not really a big deal. He is going to hurt a bit later on, but right now we're just two tanks basically bashing each other, so there's nothing you can really do. Another concern I had about this build was that your poison does so little damage that you can just be ignored in team fights, and it also means that you're going to have a lot less damage to minion waves, so you have to auto attack the creeps a bit more later on in the game. Like I said, early game it's exactly the same, it doesn't matter, but later on in the game you're going to have to auto attack creeps more, and you have to auto attack a lot more with this build as well, so you're going to make sure that you take those hybrid pen marks instead of the magic pen ones. But what was I saying? I keep going off on these little tangents, and I completely forget what I was saying. Yeah, so something about San? No, we're just two tanks smacking each other, where you don't have kill potential on each other at all, and poison does little damage, and you can be ignored in team fights because you don't have any damage. You only have your poison, which does 70 damage per second at max rank, and your fling, which does quite a bit of damage, but with no AP, it doesn't do that much at all. What you should do with this build, I don't know if Looper did it in the game, but what I would highly recommend is do not max E second, max W second. Now, I know a lot of people who might not really be familiar with Singe will be like, well, obviously, you always max W second. Well, actually, no. Fling's damage is insane when you have quite a bit of ability power. It has a 75% ability power ratio and quite a high base base damage as well. So actually, if you do the Rod of Ages or Tear into Rylai's into Leandri's build, you always want to max E second because it just does so much more damage. And you can flip carries in team fights, and that flip plus the poison can take away half their health. But in this one, you don't. With this build, you don't have that damage. You don't have that AP to make it more effective. So you want to max your W second. In this game, I maxed my E second out of habit accidentally. I went into this game like, right, I'm gonna max my W second, but I just started leveling E subconsciously, and unfortunately, yeah, I was just like, fuck it, I'll max E. But you want to max W in this matchup. What the fuck are you doing, Vegas? Stop. Alright, sorry about that. My recording software is being a dick. But yeah, you want to max W second in this when you do this full tank Singed build, because your E just won't do as much damage, and there's no real point in maxing it second. You want to get that massive slow from your W, have all this utility in teamfights. You're going to see the main problem with Singed, and the reason why I personally think he's a bit underpowered, even with the recent buffs, is that there's just so much mobility in this game. You know, poor old Singed, who has to run around and chase people, can't catch them because they just get away so easily. You're going to see Rek'Sai here. You know, no problem. Whatever, she wastes her flash. That's what you want to do as Proxy Singed, troll around the jungler. But, yeah, Singed is very sad, so because he can't catch people. So you want to get that righteous glory, and you would just bolt after people. You're going to see it later on in this game. It's pretty crazy. And that combined with Randuin's, which you'll get later on, is just insane. And you have 40% CDR, so you're going to be flipping like crazy. You're going to be chucking down the goo everywhere. Your ult's going to be up every fight, no problem. You also want to get Distortion boots later on, though I do get Home Guards this game for a teleport, but preferably you want to get Distortion to have the lower cooldown on your summoner spells to be everywhere at once. It's great. Another thing you can actually do is factor in the Zarot Portal Summer in this build. The new item, for those of you who don't know, the Zarot Portal. Look it up. It's a very good item on Singed, but it was a bit awkward to fit into the old build that used Roa and Tear and all that. So, but with this build, the fact that, you know, you have all this health from other sources, and the fact that the Zarot Portal gives hybrid resistances would actually be very good for this build, though I haven't personally formulated a way to slot it in yet. I'm gonna pop my ult. Sounds a bit scary, so I just wanted to make sure that I didn't die to him or take too much damage. And also I'm running out of mana, so it will give me a bit of mana regen as well. He's smacking me around, but he can't really kill me. I can just ghost out of there as soon as I need to. I don't have any wards, so I've got to be careful of Rek'Sai. Gonna put one down here. My goal here is just farm one more wave and then go, but then I see Orianna, window chasing Orianna, which is a bit interesting. I don't really know what Orianna's doing. It's coming up to get me, but I'm just going to execute. And that's going to be my first death, quote-unquote, in the game. That's not a problem. I think they're going to lay a trap for Orianna in the jungle, but not really going to get her. But creating pressure, it's what you want to do. Got my TP up so I can get into lane quickly if I need to anyway. This bot lane fight. They win that fight. When I saw that when I saw that MF got the kill on Draven, like, how the fuck did that happen? And I thought, Soraka and her crazy heals. And Donga gets massive this game. He goes crazy later on. He gets a nice kill on Sion there. So, Sion loses quite a lot of creeps there, which is good. Got my Calist here, which is going to be building into, like I said, my Righteous Glory, which is the first item. That's going to give you health. That's going to give you mana. It's sort of like a Rod of Ages, except you don't get the AP. You get 500 health and 300 mana, which with Singe's passive gives you 575 health. And that, along with Frozen Heart, will be your mana for your build, because obviously Singe needs mana. This build is actually more mana hungry than the other build, because you're going to be flinging a lot more, and you're going to be using your Mega Adhesive a lot more as well. So you actually you need more mana. But fortunately, those two items give you 700 mana, which is just a little bit under a tier. So you should be alright for most of the game, but you will run out of mana in very long team fights, unfortunately. Now I know Sion's bot lane, so I'm like, alright then, I'll start doing work on this tower, but I want him to lose as much CS as possible. So I'm not going to take it down just yet. Keep farming. You're going to make sure that you punish top laners whenever they roam. It's very important. make sure they lose as much CS as possible. If you see them on the other side of the map, push like crazy, especially if you're Singed and you can proxy. Push, take their tower if you want, but like I said, I'm going to keep this tower up a little while just so he loses as much CS as possible. In the end, he picks up 2 kills from that roam, but he also loses almost 2 kills worth of CS, so it sort of balances things out, and he loses his tower. So honestly, it balances everything out really there. That's how you can help carry your team, even though you don't have much damage and you're not there to help them. You can still take objectives and deny the enemy experience and gold from CS when they go to roam. It's very important that you do that. Gonna back now, pick up my Righteous Glory. And this is where you'll start noticing that you do substantially less damage to creeps, this level 8, level 9 area, because you don't have that Rod of Ages. Normally you'd have a Rod of Ages by now, you'd have some AP, you can take down, I pop the Righteous Glory for the swag there, but you gain a bit of AP and it helps you taking out the creeps. But now you have to micromanage them quite a bit more. You might have to make a few passes on the wave instead of just running straight past it like you could with Rylai's and Leandries. Which is annoying, but I can get used to it. Notice a fight going on here. I'm thinking, should I teleport in? Not really. Doesn't look like there's much much I can help with. I don't think anyone's going to fight, but obviously I'm proving wrong. Everyone goes in. I don't know. My MMR is weird. I'm being matched with people who are like silver, bronze. It's weird. I don't know what's going on. I guess it's a start of the season thing, and it will hopefully clear up soon. But right now it's pretty annoying. As for boots, most of the time you want to go obviously Ninja Tabi or Merc Treads depending on the situation. They got a lot of CC that Tenacity can help with. You want to go Merc Treads, they got a lot of AD. You want to go Ninja Tabi, of course. But in this game, I'm presented with a bit of a unique situation. They have quite a bit of CC, but none of it can be stopped by Tenacity. You know, Scion is all knockups and slows. Orianna is displacement. Thresh is all displacement. I think his Q is a stun, but doesn't really help that much. Yeah, nothing I can really block with Tenacity. So I actually pick up Boots' Swiftness this game. Not something you want to do very often on Singed. I know a lot of people think it's very good on Singed, but honestly, it's not as important as either the Tenacity or the 10% damage from auto attacks you would get from the Ninja Tabi. Because later on, 10% less auto attack damage from the AD carries is really significant. But yeah, this game they just have a lot of slows really and knockups, so I decided to get Boots' Swiftness. Orianna's ult ends up killing her here. Unfortunately, I've seen that happen quite a bit. It's really unlucky. But I end up picking her up there. As you can see, I do substantially less damage. Most of the damage there probably came from my auto attacks. So you need to make sure you're auto attacking a lot with this build, because you literally have 0 AP once you sell your Doran's Ring. But nice teleport play there, seeing the fight going on in mid lane. Got to make sure you're watching your map all the time. This is why I don't want lots of people to learn Proxy Singed, because then Proxy Singed will get popular. But if every top laner learned to play Proxy Singed to perfection, they would improve their map awareness so much. I had the map awareness of, what was the expression? Like, I don't know, I had a horrible map awareness. Absolutely horrible. But then I started playing Proxy Singed, and of course I fed quite a bit early on because I had horrible map awareness. But then I forced myself to keep going, keep playing, and just, keep looking at the map all the time, keep my wards down, and eventually my map awareness just became so good. I spend more time looking at my mini-map than I do at the actual game, which can lead to some awkward situations where you run into someone and you look at the mini-map and go, wait, what? But yeah, if you're a top laner, try to learn this strategy. Don't, because I don't want other people to play Proxy Singed because I want to feel special, obviously. But it'll really help you improve your map awareness, like exponentially. It's like playing Twisted Fate mid, I think I forgot who it was who said, I think it was Faker, Praise Faker. He said, all mid laners should learn to play Twisted Fate because it teaches you to watch your map. All top laners should learn how to play Proxy Singed because it teaches you to watch your map. And you'll notice that your teleport plays with other champions as well will be a lot better. But anyways, now I'm building my locket. This is the second item Looper built in the game, and I decided to get it this game as well because Orianna has a lot of AoE magic damage, so locket will obviously help. I tell Soraka, I don't know if I told her already yet, but I tell Soraka I'm building locket, so don't build locket. Make sure if you're building locket, you tell your support that you're building it so that they don't build it as well, because 2 lockets is pointless. Bit of a fight going on here. 1 for 2. Not too crazy. Mundo's a bit behind. He's alright. He'll get pretty tanky later on. The good thing about this Singed build as well is that you just don't die in team fights. I'm going to die twice this game, not including that execute at the start. I don't really count execute to death because nobody gets anything from them. But I'm only going to die 2 times this game, which is crazy. Normally I die like at very most like 3 or 4 times per game, but this was crazy. I was basically invincible. But yeah, after Locket, I'm going to go Frozen Heart, which is going to round out my mana, so I have enough mana for teamfight. Still not enough, in my opinion. I wish I had more, but you still have quite a bit. And that's also going to give me another 20% cooldown reduction, so I have the 10% from Righteous Glory, 20% from Frozen Heart, and then later on I will get another 10% from Spirit Visage, which will give me 40% CDR. But yeah, that's how it's basically going to go. It's going to go Righteous Glory, or Boots, Righteous Glory, Locket of the Iron Solari, Frozen Heart, Spirit Visage, and then Randuin's. If the enemy team has no AP, then no AP, then you want to go Thornmail instead. That'll help you out a lot more than obviously the the Spirit Visage, because you don't want to be building that if there's no AP on the enemy team. Even though it does give you, just take the hit of the cooldown reduction and get a Thornmail, you'll be a lot better off for it. A common misconception on a lot of people is that stacking a lot of armor doesn't do that much because, or is pointless because, you know, the difference between 300 and 400 armor is like what, 6% reduced damage. But you need to take into account one item, Last Whisper. It reduces your armor by 35%. So let's say you have 400 armor, crazy amount. I don't know how much that reduces by, but if you take 35% away from that, which is like what, a third to like 100 and my math is fucking horrible, 133 something. They might with that Last Whisper, they might only do like 6% extra damage to you with that item because you have so much armor. But on the other hand, if the enemy team isn't building Last Whisper, which is really stupid, I don't think there will be any time where the enemy AD carry would not get a Last Whisper if they have a Singed stacking armor. But if they didn't, then it would be pointless. But obviously, any competent AD carry will always build Last Whisper. So it's always worth to stack a lot of armor in that case. Weird fights going on here. Fortunately in this game, because I actually ended up maxing that fling second, I actually do quite a bit of damage to the squishy targets too, because like I said, the base damage is still pretty good. So I'm going to pick up Orianna there with the help of the Soraka banana. But I still reckon maxing W second is the better option, personally, because you just have so much more teamfight control and it's on such a lower cooldown. Prop Righteous Glory there to try and get Rek'Sai, but she just tunnels away. Righteous Glory, by the way, only works if you're moving towards enemies, so you can't use it to escape. Though, if you are, you can use the slow from it to help, you know, slow enemies while you're running away. But it's an 80% slow, it's significant, but only lasts for 1 second, so it's not as potent as, say, Randuin's. Sauron TPs into a ward in that bush and picks up Soraka. That's unlucky. Whatever. Here we go. I tell Soraka I'm getting Locket here, so she doesn't buy it. And, yeah. Next I'll be getting Frozen Heart. But in the meantime, I'm just going to head mid. Sauron's mid, so I don't have to go top to push out the wave. I can go mid and help out the team, which you want to be doing a lot more with this build, obviously, because you're the big-ass tank. Here I see the opportunity to go in. Orianna walks a bit too far forward, and this, look how much damage I take like no damage. It's crazy. I flip Orianna. And now I just want to zone Draven away from the fight, leave Sion to fight my team on his own. He's going to pick up a kill, but you know, he can't do anything without his carry there to help him out. And I was actually debating whether or not to go Frozen Heart or Frozen Heart or Spirit Visage first, because I thought, oh, Oriana's the fed one. But then I noticed how much damage I take from Draven, and I'm like, oh yes, I absolutely must get that Frozen Heart, because while yeah, Oriana's fed and actually does more damage than Draven, probably, she's not going to be focusing me in the team fight, more likely. Like, she's not. She's going to be trying to, you know, kill the people diving onto her. I mainly want to, which would be me actually. So maybe, but yeah, you know, her spell rotation isn't as crazy as Draven's constant auto attacks. So I'll be getting the Frozen Heart to help mitigate that. You're gonna see here some of the abysmal damage of this build. It sucks so much. I was not used to it. I'm like, holy crap, this is so bad. I'm used to just running past the wave once and, you know, flipping the cannon creep and then the whole wave dies. But yeah, farming is a bit more difficult. I could have had probably maybe 20 or 30 more CS this game because of the last hits that I missed. But with this build, you just farm so much and you get so tanky. It doesn't matter if you don't have that little bit of CS that you miss out on, because you just did massive damage sponge, just flipping everyone everywhere and shitting poison, even though that poison doesn't do much. It's a psychological effect, I suppose. Heimerdinger is starting to get crazy. I've honestly never seen a Heimerdinger play this well. I'm used to seeing bad Heimerdingers, or Heimerdingers are like, I'm gonna go Heimerdinger top and, you know, try and counterpick someone, and then, you know, that's just gimmicky, cheesy stuff, like Proxy Singed, so obviously they win. But I've never actually seen like a good Heimerdinger in just an average matchup absolutely wreck face, and he's gonna go pretty crazy this game. I notice my team's pushing mid, so I'm like, alright, stop Sion from recalling if he's trying to. And then I'm going to do a massive misplay here. I'm like, oh, I've been in this situation before. We can kill Sion. But here is one of the weaknesses of this build. Like I said, you have no damage. You cannot kill people on your own if there's only the support to help you. And I end up getting Soraka killed here. I actually probably could have saved her if I popped my Locket there. But it just completely slipped my mind, because, once again, Locket isn't an item I'm used to building. But after this game, I got used to the build, so I'm hoping I won't make mistakes like that later on. Now, I dropped my ward there, not because I needed to put it there, but because I'm going to recall and buy an item. And if there's a ward in my inventory, I'm going to end up selling that ward to buy the item. So I might as well just put it down anywhere. If you check, make sure you check your inventory before recalling and just see, it, like, do I have to sell anything to buy? If there's a ward in your inventory, just put it down fucking anywhere. Put it down in the middle of the lane, like, whatever. Just put it down somewhere. It's better than selling it. Pop Righteous Glory right there. There's a good example of it. I catch up the Sion, but Rek'Sai comes in, which is annoying. But here, just the massive tankiness, I pop my ult. If I was playing my standard Singed build, I would be very dead by now, probably. Or at least incredibly low health, but I'm just so tanky. It's crazy. I love this. I love the old Singed build as well, but this, I love this playstyle. So I honestly think I might adopt this build and use it as my build from now on. Because the early proxy isn't affected. You can still proxy just fine early on. And you're just so much more relevant. You're just so much, just a massive damage bump. It's crazy. Make sure I'm stopping out Rek'Sai's tunnels here, because, you know, those tunnels can screw you up later on. Donga gets a triple kill. I can't believe that. Sorry, I know a lot of you are probably like, I see that all the time. Well, I never see a good Heimerdinger. Maybe it's an OCE thing, I don't know. Grab my Spirit Visage here. Starting to get that to help deal with Oriana a bit, and also to get that cooldown reduction. Sion runs into a wall. Nothing surprising, I see Sions do that all the time. I remember when Sion first came out, that was like the funniest thing ever, just watching them run into walls. Pretty funny. Gonna head bot lane to get this farm. My attention isn't really needed anywhere else. Top lane, I look at top lane and I think, oh, nothing's really going on there, but I'm pretty sure a fight's going to start up there pretty soon. But when I was in game I didn't notice, so I'm like, I'll just go bot lane and push it out. I don't have my teleport up, so maybe that was a bad move, but I think, well, no one's really fighting right now. We're all like behind our towers, so we should be alright. And here once again you can see the abysmal damage. it's just so bad. You do 70 damage per second, magic damage per second in team fights before resistances. You do no damage, but you are incredibly fucking annoying because you're flinging people like crazy. Look, when I played, I wasn't prepared for it. I'm just like, I'm flinging people so much. This is so much fun. I just find this build more fun now than the old build. It's great. Go for Draven there, because I notice everything. I couldn't have killed him there because I don't have the damage, like I said, but I'm forced him to flash, and Harmony comes in and picks up a double kill. And we're just going to work on this tower. Easy as that. Solves worth for the fight that happened top lane. Making sure I'm taunting the enemies, of course. Like I said, when you play Singed, your laugh, your dance, your taunt, they're all part of your kit, so make sure you bind them to keys that are easy to reach. I have my laugh on Z, my taunt on X, and my dance on C. Very important. Psychological warfare is a massive aspect of Singed, so make sure you're laughing always. You die, you laugh. You kill someone, you laugh. You're in the middle of a team fight, you laugh. If you're CC'd, you laugh. Always laugh when you're CC'd. Very important. Very important to playing Singed. You cannot be a good Singed without taunting all the time. Very important. Mundo and I just take the inhibitor. Nothing Rek'Sai can really do. If there was someone nearby, she would have attacked us, but because she was playing so passively, we're like, oh, okay, well, no one must be coming to stop us, so whatever. There's Mundo in trouble, so I come here to help, but nothing I really need to do. Just flip Rek'Sai away to make sure she doesn't hurt him. And then here comes the tankiness again. Pop Righteous Glory, because I think, oh shit, I'm gonna die, I want to slow. But, yeah. With my ult running, with that Frozen Heart, I have 247 armor. So, trying to kill me is a pretty bad idea. It's just so much fun with this build, and it's so effective. It's fun and effective. I can see why Lupa uses it, especially in the LCS, especially against Maokai. It's very good. But here is another weakness of the build. This build has two weaknesses, like I said. High mana cost, because you're going to be flinging people a lot, and low damage. And you see the high mana cost there. I can't go in to save Mundo because I have no mana to do so. I only just have enough mana there to chuck down a Mega and haste it to help Soraka escape. So in a very long extended team fight, you're going to run out of mana. It's just going to happen if you're flinging people a lot. Now here I'm like, okay, I'll quickly buy some items and TP in to help out with home guards, but I take my time shopping. For some reason, I'm just like, oh, the shop is looking very interesting today. And by the time I go to TP in, everything's already dead. So like, oh, okay, very disappointing. Like I said, this build is so much fun in team fights. It's crazy. You just barrel in there with Righteous Glory, flip their carry, ghost your ult and Righteous Glory at the same time. It's oh my god, it's so much fun. You're just nothing. Callista with max attack speed couldn't escape from you. It's that crazy. It's so good. Scuttle Crab there, looking very derpy. But yeah, like very team fight focused. This, which is why Lupa obviously uses it, because in competitive is always more team fight focused. So you got that locket to give the aura to your team as well as a shield, and you've got the Righteous Glory to help speed up your team and to initiate the fights. Got my TP up, so I'm just gonna push a little bit here. Nothing can kill me right now. I can pop, even if the entire enemy team came, I reckon I could probably still pop ult and then just escape. If they wanted to kill me, they'd probably have to, you know, blow everything on me, in which case my team could clean up in the next team fight. Flip the blue over the wall just to troll Rek'Sai here a bit. Then we get into a fight. I use my locket there, but it doesn't really save MF. I'm just gonna try and flip as much as I can. San has a Banshee's Veil. If an enemy carry or target has a Banshee's Veil, just flip them. Get that Banshee's Veil off to help your team out. Pop Righteous Glory here, just to get ahead of Sion. Make sure he doesn't get away, but he is going to, unfortunately. And I'm going to get hooked by Thresh here and get completely wombo comboed, but you can see how much it takes to kill me. Although I did have Soraka that helped me out. You have to blow it. I took the Ori ult there, which is very important. And because Oriana's ult is down, it's very easy for my team to just clean up this team fight because they've got nothing to... They got no ultimates. Mundo has his ultimate. Heimerdinger used his ultimate well before, and Soraka's ultimate healed up everyone, so it works. But then, of course, make sure you stomp out Rek'Sai's tunnels. Mundo was just a fraction of a second too late there, and Rek'Sai was able to TP in. But that's okay. We're gonna win this fight. This game, so it's all good. So what I would build now, like I said, would be Randuins, just to give you even more teamfight utility. We're gonna TP in because I'm like, oh, hello Rek'Sai, and then watch this. I flip her, so my home guard. I don't have home guards here. I know she's gonna go over the wall. Righteous Glory, let's go. Bitch, you are not getting away. It's insane. It's such a fun item, which is... Like, I guess that can catch up to a Kalista with max attack speed. I'm fairly certain it would. So, you can just get to those 80 carries so easily. It's great. I love it. And I seriously think I'm going to adopt this build now instead of using the standard build that I have in the past. This is just so good. But yeah, anyway, you can see how little damage my poison is doing to Thresh there. But yeah, that item after this, I'd go Randuins against this team, just because most of them are AD and they're the ones who are doing damage to me in team fights. But if the enemy team had more AP, I could go Banshee's Veil. If the enemy team was all if the enemy team was all AD, then instead of getting that Spirit Visage, I would go Thornmail and then Randuins, but you know, game is what it is. So there we go. That's it, guys. Thank you for watching. I'm pretty sure a lot of you came here to because of Looper, because I noticed that as soon as Looper played that game, I gained a whole bunch of subscribers. Thank you for over 100 subscribers, by the way. I really appreciate all the support. It means a lot to me. But yeah, I figured I'd make this video because I'm pretty sure a lot of you are coming here from watching Looper, and you're like, oh, this looks interesting, I might play Singed. So I highly recommend you give Proxy Singed a try. It is hard to learn. You're going to feed a lot. You need to practice a lot in normals to get it right. Make sure you watch lots of Proxy Singed videos. I'll leave a link in the description to a guy who you can watch called Jonny Holmes. He makes a lot of very good Proxy Singed videos. Watch all of them, and then you'll be a great Proxy Singed. You just look at what he does, copy it, make sure you're watching him up. You'd be great. But yeah, thank you for watching. Sorry for the blank screen. There's nothing to fill it here. But I'll see you guys all next time. And maybe with this build, I don't know. I might have to optimize it a bit, but I reckon I might keep this build. It's really great. So I learned something as well. There you go. See you all next time. Have a great day. Keep practicing, keep playing. Get that elo.